That there's a problem, son.
No big deal.
That material's not supposed to be welded to the tool. That round hole, after it gets heat treated, is now not round. All right, what's your guess? How many pounds of chips do we take off on first operation?
So we're saying how many pounds we took off, or what did the block weigh? What do we get? I guess it's either or.
It's either or. How many pounds of chips? It's a simple math problem.
600 pounds.
600 pounds of chips?
Yeah.
This thing is boring in a big freaking hole. Fast. So now, let's go back and we'll just start showing you right from the beginning of machining up the ends and all that other stuff, and then we'll stand it up on its end and start cutting like it is right now. Alrighty, so here we're just starting to face it. So we put the bare block into the rough cut. They actually cut this whole block out of a great big plate, just like what this plate looks like up here. And they cut it with a saw and cut cubes out of it, which is really pretty Billy Bad Boy saw to be able to do that in the first place. But we need to get it faced and to correct dimensions so that we can start doing more machining. Now here we've already got it faced on both sides, and Brock has already started cutting out the back bell housing portion, and we can talk about that here in a little bit more. You can see right here, it's just kind of doing this rough outline of it, and right in the center bottom is the actual cam tunnel, or I'm sorry, main tunnel. Now notice, there is no cam tunnel yet. This is a big deal to make this cam tunnel. Now both ends are squared, and showing you from both sides just kind of how this whole thing sets up and looks like. It is really neat. Now this is not the exact bell housing. I do talk about this here a little bit. This is all fixture plate, fake mounting holes that will end up getting machined off in the final process. But we need to have a bigger, better pattern with bigger bolts than what the stock bell housing would normally be to hold it into the fixture when we stand it up on end. That right there, Brock actually stopped the machine because we were checking how close it is to the vise. It is within 50 thousandths of hitting these super expensive Girardi vices, so we were actually making sure it was not going to crash. Oh, really? It's just steaming. Oh, that's kind of hot. What about 100 degrees? All right, so here's the back part. We're going to, so that's getting roughed in right there, right to, that's as far as it gets roughed in? Well, no, you're gonna finish some more with a different tool, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that's roughed in with just a, what is that, 2-inch cutter?
Yep.
2-inch cutter. And now, gonna start plowing into the front half. Let's see here. Doo-doo-doo. Hey! They're cutting 200 at a time, looks like. Just feel it hitting the windows with the chips. It'll blast all the paint off it. Now through here, you can see we've flipped the block around. It's cutting the front end of the block now, and you see how in this process how much more rigid, solid, and simpler it is to just turn the block around 180 degrees in the machine versus having this great big rotating fixture and the 5-axis portion of the trunnion table that we took off of this. Remember, you can go back and look at talking about the trunnion table stuff in earlier videos. But it is just much more solid, rigid, and much more precise to just, all we're doing it is on one pivot, turning, bang, done. So much easier, much better. And you can see here, this is the whole timing cover area where the timing gears go. Pretty fascinating deal. I could sit here and watch this thing forever myself. In fact, I have to step away from the machine because I will stand there and just watch it. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the, open up the cabinet door here. So this is just roughed in with the 2-inch, so I'm not sure what tool comes in next. Alright, so she is getting there. See what tool goes in next, and then it does more fine work. I mean, there's only so much you can do with the 2-inch cutter, so you can't get into tight radiuses, you can't do a lot of things with it. So it gives some funny shapes of stuff. Now, gotta get out of here, 1 second. There we go. Now the one thing, or one of the things is that there's some false mounting tabs that are gonna be left on here in order to fixture it. So some bolt holes for the back of the block, there is some fault stuff that is there so we can fixture it up when we flip this up on end. So let's see what he's got next for going on. All right, so changing tool to smaller diameter, still a rougher, but you know, you're trying to rough with bigger stuff just to be faster. And then this is a 1.25 inch And it is just starting to give it a little bit of haircut, and I'll turn the coolant on here in a second, I believe. Looks like it's just barely cutting anything. I think it's just kind of touching off. I'll show you something neat if you don't know. There, you turn the coolant on. See this that little guy right there is a tool setter. So everything comes off of that, I believe, and you set tool heights and depth. So basically touch the tool on the other side, not on that side, but on the other side of it. You touch it all off, and then that is what sets your tool heights, depths, positions. A little harder to see, but you can just see that tool setter back. See if the tool gets out of the way here in a second. And the tool's like right dead in it. There you go. You can just barely see it back there, right there. There we go. Looking more and more and more like the back of the block. Yep. Think about that. Let's go around the front here. Now it's gonna start. Oh dang. Isn't that cool? This is the way it all works, people. This is the way it happens. Pretty darn fascinating. Now, I remember the vices. Girardi. I love to say that. Girardi. There you go. I like the way they say it. There are some things here. I've had a lot of questions. People commented and asked questions about them. So figured I'd talk about it, of why we chose the Girardi vices. Okay, one thing that is really interesting is most vices are actually made out of cast iron. These are hardened steel precision ground, and so all the vices, if we want to call up and get another vice just like this, it will be exactly like this. It's not, we have to tell them exactly what our heights are, if there's any deviation 3-4 years down the road. This vice, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, or 5 years, 10 years back, is exactly like this. Same heights, same everything, so it is a direct replacement, so you don't have to machine, or you don't have to have the factory do something different to make that right. Then the other thing is that they are a lower profile than what your standard vices are, and it's a lower profile, so all this is all solid through here, really stout, sturdy piece, hardened steel. And then the why it is lower is typically this screw here is down here. Usually the screws in older style vices are down here below the clamping block. So you're actually moving the screw down here, and it has a piece that bolts up underneath on a conventional deal. And so all that, when you tighten it up, it all pivots, rocks, and then you end up having to, like, literally old school stuff, you would beat this down with a lead hammer or dead blow hammer to make sure that it's seated. So much more sturdy, rigid to have this screw right directly in lines, actually slightly above, I think, the block. Because the other deal of why this holds so much, why we got these vices, is that this vise clamps down on a 15-degree downward angle. So it actually pulls the part down to the base right here, instead of just going straight and possibly bending, moving with any kind of lash or clearance up. So this actually pulls it down, much sturdier, lower, hardened steel. That's why we got them. So let's take a look back here. Just about tripped out of the machine. Don't tell OSHA. It's my machine. I'm the owner, so I can fall out of it. Doesn't matter. They don't care about me, only about my employees. Let's see. You got that. Yep, so that's gone in and pocketed out a bunch of the inside stuff. Very fascinating. Let's check with Brock and see what next process is. Interesting. All right. Again, so Brock's gonna put in a smaller tool. We've gone from the 2-inch to the 1.25 inch. That. And so that's going to be pretty cool. Put it in a smaller tool and do the next process. Or does this one do the front first?
We're done milling. We're just going to drill a hole for belt housing, drill a cam tunnel, and then flip it up.
Oh, dang. All right. So we're actually done milling right now.
Yep.
We're going to, yeah. Let's see here. Okay. All right, so the next process, there's no more milling that's going to happen here. It is going to drill the fake bell housing pattern. And there's a couple features on here that are there because we have to drill some holes from this angle down like that. And so there's other stuff done there. So he's actually going to drill the fake bell housing mounting holes, and then the cam tunnel, which is fascinating, which is the whole deal. Why you have tools like this. Base mill, crazy crap. Well, darn it, I just missed it. He drilled the pilot hole in there from both ends. Close that door. And now he has, Brock here, has run that drill bit. Look at that big bad bugger through, and it sounds terrible. Looks like it's about a foot through. So the drill bit is just gonna go through from both ends, because this isn't long enough here. Once you get that drill bit out that far, then it's just a piece of crap anyways. So turn it around, and the whole point of being able to turn it around and be perfect is this. So he's gonna flip this thing around and drill from the other side, from the bell housing side, and come into it. Now it's gonna sound like crap here for a second. Oh no, it sounded fine. Now this is through tool or through spindle coolant. So the coolant's actually going all the way through the drill bit and is actually filling the hole. So right down in here, probably, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but somewhere around through here, you'll see the light shine and coolant come out the front, which means it's all the way through. I'm not sure how fast it's drilling. How fast is that drilling?
About 5 inches right now.
Oh, okay, so oh yeah. See, it's gone quite a long ways through there. They should have you can't see dead center of the spindle because the door's in the way. Can't open the door because it shuts the machine off. Unless we're getting close here. So that is, I think, a 2-inch drill bit. And it doesn't pack or doesn't do anything. It just plows right through it. Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, makes a little bit of noise, but not much. That's not bad at all. All right. that was. All right, let's take a look. That is all the way through. So we'll kind of look and see, blow that out, kind of see what it looks like. Makes a little bit of sound there when it comes into the, where it drilled from one side and then drills from the other side. It comes together, and that's what was making all that sound. So let's blow this thing out and take a look at it. But you can see it went all the way through. I blew the chips all out. A little hard to see, sorry, the camera doesn't want to focus right there. But I think that's cool. So now comes the next tools. Oh no, it's gonna stand up.
Yep.
What size is that?
2 and 5/16.
Oh, 2 and that's 2 3 12. Okay, that's 2 and 5/16. It's bigger than I thought it was. So the cam hole journal there is what is the cam journal? Yeah, I think the final size ends up being 2. I'm not gonna go look it up right now. I think it ends up being 2.680, which is a Babbitt bearing 65 millimeter journal. So there you go. You can look that up and figure it out. But I think it's 2.680 or 2.6, or actually it's 2.6785 or something like that. Anyway, so looks like it's getting put up on its ends. Sweet. Now right here it's actually cutting the deck surface. So the 45 degree up for that bank, or 90 degree V8 kind of goes in at the point. Brock's got it mounted up on our temporary mounting holes that are going to get milled off because they're at a wider separation. This thing is throwing chips like crazy. Stay tuned, because how many pounds of chips do you think this thing has taken off? It is astronomical. Remember, it weighed 778 pounds when we put it in the machine, when it was just square. Now you can see the one deck surface is all done. Now we're coming in and cutting the other deck surface. So again, the fixture just turns 90 degrees. Ding, bang, done. It's all permanent, it's fixed, it's nice, it's not pushing around, getting moved like it possibly could have been up on a big trunnion. All right, now the thing is in a basic V. They haven't even faced the valley of it yet. I'll come in here and kind of show you, this machine tool mark. It's highly satisfying. Don't forget, we have the Sugar Mama giveaway. I'm just buttoning up a couple things. I took the exhaust off because it actually hurt one tab that was holding the exhaust tip up. stripped out, so I put new inserts in it, and we're fixing that thing up. But remember, I got these super cool key tags. I really like these things. They're silicone. They're cheap. They're nice. And this, you could buy this, and that would get you one entry to win this car. How crazy is that? But anyways, remember, for every $5 you purchase, no purchase is necessary, but for every $5 you purchase gets you an entry. And so you could buy like this nice silicone Steve Morris, put it on your key, you know, start your car. Every time you start, you think, I could win a sugar mama. Rum. Or actually, you're probably your car go ring ding 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 ring ding ding, you know, compared to this. But anyways, go to boostmastermerch.com. You can see, or you can even go to my website, hit the link. It'll take you to boostmastermerch.com, and you can see all the rules, regulations right there. Back to the video. Holy cow! Right after we shot that little commercial, went over here to dyno, and this happens. So come back next week Tuesday. Worst dyno explosion I've ever had. All right, check it out. The thing is getting sweet. It is actually starting to almost look like a V8. Now here you can see we're actually starting to rough out. That's the cylinder deck surface, and then the right through there. Let's see, right, and then right here, those are the oil drain back ports and the Y portion of the block. So it is getting much closer. So over here, let's take a look. So now we're working on the starting to rough out the lifter valley portion of this. So now this is all getting rough to within 1/4 inch of this of final sizes to get back and be heat treated. So the reason why we have to rough everything out is that the material is a 6061 T6 heat treated. It's 18 inches thick, I think, and you can't get all the way to the center. The very center of the material is not T6. They can't get it exactly the same as the outer part. So we rough everything and then get it to within 1/4 inch of final size, and then send it back to heat treaters to have them reheat treat it. So what they do is they anneal it, loosely paraphrase. If you're a heat treater, you can jump on here and correct me. But they basically take all the hardness out of it, and then they re-harden it back to a T6. And this way, when it's all roughed out and all the center is all cut out of it, the bores are out of it, the cam tunnel is all done, or not done, but roughed in. Main tunnel will be roughed in. Everything will be roughed in there. Then the heat treat properly gets to all of it equally and makes a much better piece. Problem is then what happens is that round hole, after it gets heat treated, is now not round. Everything moves and gets all put all over the place. So that's why we rough to within 1/4 inch, and then we get it heat treated, and then we come back and then do all the final machine work, which is a whole lot more labor intensive and time consuming than this. Alrighty, so we jumped in the machine here, going to the next operation, roughed out. Now keep in mind, everything is no cylinder bores or main bore in here yet. Haven't scalped this all out, but it is definitely starting to take shape as a block. And if you jump over here on this side, well, you can see the lifter valley is just starting to get right there. And this is why you always have your finger on the emergency button when the program doesn't do exactly what you thought it was going to do. So Brock is changing up right now. So I think we'll show some video of this thing actually starting to bore this cylinder bore out. That is going to be cool. That thing bores a hole like nobody's effing business.
There's a problem.
That there's a problem, son.
No big deal.
That material's not supposed to be welded to the tool. Gotta clear the chips out better. So it makes so much chip in there that it actually couldn't get rid of it all. So we're gonna have to probably go in there and get him. Maybe he has to peck it or something. And that obviously that tool is not through coolant.
Well, it could be.
Oh, that would fix it, wouldn't it?
Try that.
Never mind, that tool is a through coolant. Change it over. You gotta change the stub. Oh, so the tool is. It gets plugged up.
Oh yeah. Blow the hole for me. Good.
Oh, it doesn't have unlimited, no restriction in it?
Say what?
It doesn't, just no restriction. It's not like a hole the same size of all the way through?
No. Sometimes it's plugged in there.
Huh?
Sometimes it's plugged up.
Oh, is that? Well, you don't, damn.
Great. Alter. Memory.
And that turns it into through coolant?
Yep.
Does it then spray on the outside also, or just through? Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. Can't see crap now. But it should get better like this. Yeah, there you go. Will it go all the way through?
No.
No. That is boring a. Well, when he does the second one, it'll be correct. So this thing is boring a big freaking hole.
Yep.
Fast. I mean, out of a. There you go. that. Done. Oh, now it comes out more the next size bigger. Oh no. I don't know what it's doing right now. Oh, I think it's running through the whole cycle again. Dang. Oh man, it's coming down to do the second hole. So this one should do it, the whole process. We'll time this and see how long this takes. Time this and see how long it takes, so. And we'll have the next one. And then people have made comments about putting a timer point or, a running clock up there. Huh?
Open some material right there.
That's the, yeah. You'll see if you can get it trying to. Put it right up there, get flat. Get all of a sudden quarter. There is no hole there. However long it is, they're pretty quick. And then it'll come in, and so it's basically making like a pilot hole, and they'll come in and make the hole closer to size. Here in a second. Then keep running right here. It's gonna move and come back out and then come back in. So it just bored that hole right there. Now it's gonna come in and make it just slightly over 4 1/4, 4 inch, 4 1/4, something like that. It does that. It's gonna throw the right at it for a couple until it gets in deeper. Dang. Then all over again. Next one. How deep is that hole?
4 1/4.
That is a 4 inch, basically a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 hole. And well, you see it on the running clock. Incredible. Then this barrel, this particular barrel right here was empty. And half the chips are still in the machine just from boring the hole. Alrighty, and now you have the finished roughing piece. So this is going to heat treat. You can see that very thick, super thick material here. You can see the bores aren't all gone all the way through. Don't need to put a head bolt pattern in it. Don't need to do any of that kind of stuff. But just the rough outline shape, basically. No need to put lifter holes in, any of those kind of things. The main bulk pieces are all done, which is going to allow us to now send this off to heat treat. And I think we're gonna go over it and weigh this thing and see what it weighs and see how much chips that it makes just getting it to this rough out form. And then that'll be pretty interesting. And then we're gonna send this down for heat treat, and when it comes back, then we'll do the final. That'll take a while longer than what this did, because obviously this is literally just roughing it out. But I think it's pretty cool. If I don't say so myself. It is pretty god darn awesome. Everything's just kind of roughed in there, waiting for final machine. Now, the reason why you do that again is that now that it is stress relieving itself and things are actually moving, and if you put heat to it now, if you just went right to final machine off of this, you could make it perfect. It'd be great. It would heat up, it'd cycle, and it'd go and it'd twist and get all crazy. So we send it out, have it reheat treated, i.e. stress relieved, and I believe how that actually works. And then when it comes back, we'd go through the whole thing, and we might even do some form of stress relieving on it after it does the final machine work. But won't have to reheat treat it, that's for sure. So pretty god darn awesome. Shiny cool. All right, let's weigh bare block. So all the blocks are exact same size. Let's see how much this block weighs. So at 0. There we go. All right. Oh, yep, 700. Yeah, that's what I thought. 778. So it does weigh 780 pounds. Good dang. All right. Cool. We're gonna pick that back up. That's amazing. That is. Now let's weigh the other block. First weigh of first operation before roughing. So let's see how much we chips. Okay, hold on, Cody. Go up. All right. What's your guess? How many pounds of chips did we take off on first operation?
So we're saying how many pounds we took off, or what does the block weigh? What do we get? I guess it's either or.
It's either or. How many pounds of chips? It's a simple math problem.
600 pounds.
600 pounds of chips?
Yeah.
375 chips.
375?
375.
I'm thinking, because it weighed 778
Oh, did it? I didn't know what it
before.
weighed.
It says 78.
It's like 250 pounds then.
Oh, now Cody's changing his mind to 250
I
pounds.
didn't know what it weighed before.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna say there's probably, yeah, I think there's probably, yeah, a little bit more. Like Brock's pretty close. I think there's probably 400, 376,
Yeah.
400. All right. So that would make it weigh. Go ahead, set it down. There you go.
Oh.
248. So 248. Let's see. What is that? Seven. Yeah, I know it's too early for math. 778 minus 248. That is 530 pounds of chips. That is astronomical. Huh. That's amazing.